All right, there we are. How's it going today, everybody? I hope you're having a really great week and your week is winding up. We only have one more day after today, and then we get to start our weekend. So today is Thursday, if you are joining me live. If not, then whatever day it is, I hope you are doing well. We're going to go ahead and start on our shins. And if that's not comfortable for you, then go ahead and sit on your booty. You can have the legs crossed. I just like to wake up the tops of my legs, especially after sleeping. So you can have the shins on the floor, the tops of the feet on the floor, or you can have the feet spread apart and you can have a block in between the feet. And then that just gives you something to rest on. All right, so whatever option feels good to you. And I want you to stack the spine nice and tall, and then feel the crown of the head lift up towards the ceiling. You can have the palms face down on the lap, or you can have them just cupped in the lap together. And so when I do that, I usually just put my left palm on top of my right for female, right on top of left for male. So close the eyes here. Just lift up through the sternum. Pull the shoulder blades together. And then feel the tailbone get really heavy wherever you're sitting, however you are sitting. Notice if you are leaning forward or if you're leaning back. We want to try and align the ears over the shoulders, and then the shoulders over the hips, over the heels. We'll take a couple of breaths here just to start turning our focus from off of our mat to on our mat. Let go of everything that has gone on this morning, that's going to go on throughout the day into your evening. And just take a couple of breaths. However you're breathing, maybe notice the breath. And then keeping the eyes closed, keep all of your awareness inward. Hands come together in front of the heart. Tuck the chin. Let's take our 3 cleansing breaths to begin our practice together. Deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth to sigh it out. And again, bigger inhale. Exhale everything out. Get all that stagnation that's been trapped in the body out. And then a final time here, bigger inhale, lift through the crown of the head. And a full exhale. We'll seal the lips, blink the eyes open, have a smile on the face, and then let's come onto our hands and knees. So I'm going to ground my palms pretty firmly into the floor. Ground the fingertips with, or grip the mat with your fingertips. So then that way you have a little bit of foundation here. Knees are going to be right underneath the hips. And then you can reach or pull the heart into the back of the body so we're not dumping in between our arms. So kind of have a lift through the center of the chest. On your inhale, reach the heart forward, soften the shoulders away from the back, and let the belly sag so you get an arch. And then as you exhale, round the back. Bring the chin towards the chest and the belly button towards the spine. We'll do that again. Inhale, reach the heart forward, soften the collarbone from the chin. Exhale to round, and you're pressing the floor away with the palms and with the tops of the feet, so you create that big stretch in the back. Let's do it one last time. Inhale to reach forward, look up, open up through the throat. Exhale, round the back, tuck the chin, bring the belly button towards the spine. So find your neutral spine here, a flat back. Today's practice is about the arms. So we're going to do a lot of stuff to strengthen the arms. I want you to bring the knees back so that you are, keep the wrists over the shoulders, but I want you to bring the knees back just a little bit. I want you to keep the elbows hugged in. We're going to reach forward. So rock forward so that your shoulders are past the wrists. And then as you exhale, I want you to keep the booty lifted. You're just going to hug the elbows in and bring your chin down to the floor. So your booty might stick up into the air. So then once you get here, now you can extend the legs back. Keep the hands in line with the chest and hug the elbows in. You're pressing the palms into the floor, but I want you to lift through the back of the head. So keep the hands nice and firm. Reach through the toes so you find some length through the legs. Hug those elbows close to the body. Take another breath in, maybe lift a little bit higher, press into the palms. And then we're going to exhale to release. Inhale to tuck the toes, firm the legs up. With or without the knees, let's get into our downward facing dog. So press into the palms. You can still, even if you're using the knees, get the arms engaged there. So really focus today on the arms and strengthening and lengthening. Lift those sit bones up towards the ceiling. Press the mat forward. Feel the balls of the feet pressing into the floor and the heels reaching down. A lift through the sit bones. And take another full breath here. I want you to look forward. To walk our feet to the top of our space. Come into a forward fold. So have the feet just slightly apart. Rock the weight into the toes. Grab opposite elbows and let's find some length through the back of the body and the legs. If the hips are tight or the legs are tight, you can bend the knees. So you don't have to have this straightness here. If it helps to support the torso onto the thighs, you can go ahead and do so. And then find a little bit of a shake in your head. So that way you let go of any tension in the neck. Maybe a few shakes, yes and no. Weight rolls into the toes. Let the arms make the torso even heavier so you feel the length through the back of the body. We'll release the fingertips down for the floor. Inhale to find your flat back. Have the gaze down so that the back of the neck is long. So I don't want you to jet out looking forward, so then that way we don't put a crink in the back of the neck and we don't put any pressure on the throat. So keep the chin slightly tucked here so the back of the neck stays long. You're looking either down right where the eyes meet the floor, or I typically will look at my toes, and then that will help keep that length in the neck. So keep your inhale here, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Put a little bend in the knees. Use your arms to sweep all the way up. Feel the palms touch, lengthen through the front of the body. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. So we'll close the eyes here, feel the feet rooting into the floor. I want you to press the palms together so you feel like you're pressing, like there's a block in between the hands, that you are pressing hard together with both palms. Feel the sternum lift so that the thumbs are touching the sternum. Soften the shoulder blades down the back. So keep the body really engaged, core's engaged, arms, palms, feet are driving into the floor. Take another breath here, keeping the eyes closed, maybe a smile on the face. Eyes blink open. Inhale to sweep the arms up, lengthen through the body, palms might touch. As you exhale, I want you to lead with the heart. Hinge at the hips, maybe put a little bend in the knees to come all the way down. Inhale, find your flat back. Remember the weight rolls into the toes. Keep the gaze down so the back of the neck stays long. Exhale to fold forward. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step back into that push-up or plank pose. You can bring the knees down, right? See how they come down and they're just behind the hips. Then on the next inhale, wherever you are, either knees down or the legs lifted, you're going to inhale to rock forward. Exhale to lower. I want you to lower halfway. So if the knees are down, you're still lowering halfway. Keep the elbows hugged in. Take another breath here wherever you are, if the knees are lifted or not, and then come all the way down. Untuck the toes. Make sure to extend the legs out and press through the tops of the feet as you lengthen through the toes. Shoulders roll up towards the ears and back. Lift through the back of the head. Press the palms into the floor. Find your baby cobra. Gaze stays down. Pubic bone presses into the floor. Reach the toes behind you. Another breath in to lift higher. And then exhale to release. Inhale, tuck the toes. With or without the knees, you'll exhale back into downward facing dog. Deep breath in and out here. Use your inhale. Let's raise the right leg up. Look forward. Plant the foot between the palms behind that right thumb. So if you need to help it up, you can use the hand behind the calf just to kind of inch it forward. Pop up onto the fingertips. You can always bring blocks underneath the fingertips as well, just to get a little bit more length. And then notice this right knee as it's starting to reach out to the side. Drive the ball of the right foot down into the floor. I want you to feel that right hip pulling back and the inner right thigh is rotating down to the floor. Reach through your left heel. Think of downhill skiing maybe, right? That shape as they go off a jump. I want you to reach the heart forward, reach through that left heel, and then now bring the arms behind you. So I want you to pretend like you're squeezing a block between the palms. Keep pressing the palms together. Reach the fingertips behind you. Keep pressing the palms. Take another full breath here. And then inhale, let's rise all the way up. You can sink down into that front knee, put a little bend in the left if you need to, or keep it straight. Have the ears over the shoulders, and then find the shoulders over the hips. Take another breath, reaching through the fingertips. And then as you exhale, let's open up into warrior two. Extend the fingertips away from one another. It's almost like you're trying to touch opposite walls. As you sink down into that front knee, scoop the right glute underneath the hip. Open up to the wide side here. Big, deep breath. On your inhale, let's straighten through the legs. Both of the arms come up. Palms are going to touch overhead. As you exhale, come back into warrior two. Do that 2 more times. Inhale to straighten. Maybe look up as the palms touch. Lift the heart up. Exhale, bring the hands down to warrior two. One last time. Inhale to straighten. Reach through the palms. Exhale, sink back into that front knee. Flip the right palm. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Feel space through the right side of the torso to that right armpit, all the way through the right fingertips. Take another full breath here. Hands come to the hips. I want you to bring the heels in. We'll sink down into that squat pose, but bring the arms back into, or bring the arms into a cactus. Pull the arms behind the back so you're squeezing the shoulder blades together. So we're going to get into the back here. So as you pull the shoulder blades together, lift through the heart. Really exaggerate like you're trying to keep something between the shoulder blades without letting it fall down to the ground. Take another breath, maybe sink a little bit lower, and then hands to the hips, straighten through the legs. We're going to walk to the back side of the mat. If you need your blocks, go ahead and bring the blocks with you. Come down to the floor. Find that length through the heart. So if you want, you can have the fingertips on the floor, on blocks, whatever feels good. And then notice, is the left knee starting to point out to the left? Can you drive the ball of the left foot down into the floor? Reach through the right heel. Remember, we're thinking of our skier, right? We're launching off of that jump. Reach the heart forward. Keep the ears in line with the shoulders. Nice, strong right leg. And then hands are going to come behind you. Squeeze that block between the palms. Reach the fingertips down for that right heel. Keep squeezing the block. Engage the core. Take another full breath. Use your inhale to rise all the way up. Find that high lunge. Soften through the shoulders. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Inhale to open up. Find warrior two on the opposite side. Back heel slides down the mat. You're going to seal the outer edge of that foot to the floor. Sink into the front knee. Open up to the wide side. And then the gaze is right over that front middle finger. Sink down as much into that front knee as possible without the knee passing the ankle. And then find the gaze over the front middle finger. Take a deep breath here. On your inhale, we'll straighten through the legs. Hands touch maybe overhead. Exhale, bring it back into warrior two. And again, inhale to straighten. Lift through the fingertips. Reach the fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhale back into warrior two. One last time, press into the feet. Lift the fingertips. Lift the heart into the palms. Exhale, come back into warrior two. Extend the fingertips away. Flip the left palm. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Open up now through the left side of the body. Feel that space along each rib into the left armpit and through those left fingertips. One more full breath here. Inhale to straighten. Come back into that warrior two position. And then we'll straighten through the legs. Come back to the wide side of the mat. Heels are going to come back in. Find your squat pose. Maybe sit a little bit deeper. Feel the knees pointing to the outer edges of the toes, right? So we don't want them to come in. See if you can press them out. Arms come into that cactus position. Pull the shoulder blades together behind the back. Feel like you're holding on to a strap or something in between the shoulder blades. Keep sinking a little bit lower, getting into the legs a little bit here, but we need that strength in the legs to carry up into our arms. Sit a little bit lower for one more breath, and then hands come to the hips, straighten through the legs, maybe shake it out. Step to the front of the mat, find mountain pose. Feet are going to be slightly apart where the big toes are touching. Palms face forward. Feel the heart lifting towards the chin, but ground down through the feet. Fingertips reach towards the floor. Belly button is pulling up and in towards the spine. Another full breath here. Use your inhale to sweep the arms up. Maybe the palms touch overhead. As you exhale, lead with the heart. Hinge at the hips. Come into your forward fold. Inhale, find a flat back. Reach the heart forward. Rock the weight into the toes. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, plant the palms. Find that high push-up position. Shoulders are going to be right over the wrists. On your next inhale, rock the shoulders past the wrists. Exhale to lower halfway down. You can always use the knees. Keep the elbows in line with the torso. Don't let the hips sag. And then come to the tops of the feet. Upward facing dog. Or you can come back into that cobra. Reach the toes behind you. Lift the heart up. Exhale. Come into downward facing dog. Deep, full breath here. And then let's come down onto our knees just for a moment. Bring the forearms down to the floor. I want you to make sure that they are right underneath the shoulders. You should be able to brush the opposite elbow with the opposite middle finger. So right middle finger should be able to brush the left elbow. Spread the palms nice and wide. I want you to feel the fingers gripping the mat. Tuck the toes under here. And then start to lift the hips and you're coming into a dolphin pose. So very similar to downward facing dog, but instead of being on your palms, you're on your forearms. So this is actually a great pose if you have any wrist problems, and downward facing dog is inaccessible or it's puts a little bit too much pain on the wrists. So another option here, but you do get into the shoulders, into the back of the body as well. You to still feel the front of the heart coming closer to the front of the thighs. Soft shoulders here. Heels reach towards the floor. Take another breath here. You can always drop the knees if you need to, and then come right back up. There's a lot of tension here into the shoulders. See if you can walk the toes up just a little bit more. Lift through the sit bones. One more full breath. Now walk the toes back. come into a forearm plank pose. So see if you can keep the shoulders right over the wrist, reach through the heels. Don't let the head hang. Keep the ears in line with the shoulders, lifting through the back of the head. Take one more breath in, and then exhale, lower the hips, untuck the toes. Now we're in Sphinx pose. Reach the toes behind you. Soften the shoulders, soften the collarbone. Keep pressing into the palms. Deep, full breath here. And then we'll tuck the toes under, come onto our knees, find a child's pose. So I want you to have the arms draped right alongside the body. You can use your block underneath your forehead if you'd like, or bring the forehead down to the floor. It actually feels kind of nice if you do have a block to come into this position because your shoulders get a little bit more space, so you have a little bit more stretch here. So whatever feels good to you, just take a breath or so. Feel the sit bones reaching towards the heels. Stay connected to your breath. And then bring the hands underneath the shoulders, rise up. Find that beginning pose that we started with. So you're on your heels in Thunderbolt pose, like I am now. You can be in Hero's pose with a block in between the booty, or if your booty can sit onto the floor comfortably, or you can be sitting cross-legged. So whatever feels good to you. If you are sitting the booty on the floor, make sure it comfortably sits, or use that block or a blanket. And then we're going to lift up through the center of the chest. I want you to bring the hands together. Left palm faces up, right palm faces down. Hands are at shoulder height. Reach through the fingertips. So you're kind of spreading the shoulder blades a little bit. Now I want you to pull the shoulders down the back. Start to make fists with the hands. So you can go, I would try and go kind of quickly here because we want the blood flow to get into the hands and to the wrists. But you're going to notice it's going to start getting harder in a moment. So keep going, keep going. Make sure you're breathing. Keep lifting up through the crown of the head. Keep pumping. Keep pumping. And then hands are going to press together in front of the heart. Really press them together like we did earlier. Squeeze the palms together. Feel the spread of the shoulders. And then let's do it again, but flip the right palm up this time. So right palm comes up, left palm is down. Reach the fingertips so you exaggerate the back and spread the back, and then pull the shoulder blades down. And then start pumping the fists again, making fists with the hands. Big, deep breaths here. Keep pumping, keep breathing. It's probably getting a little bit harder. Keep going, keep going. Deep breath here. And then hands come together. Press the palms together. Grow tall through the spine. Deep, full breath. And then let's come onto our hands and knees. One more thing for the hands. So just because we created that strength in the arms, we also need to find some length. So this goes all the way down into our wrist. I want you to turn to the top of the hand and point the fingers towards the knees. For me, these poses right here for the hands are pretty intense, just having carpal tunnel from typing for so many years. So just really see if you can breathe into any of that pain. Your hand might not be able to get all the way down. So over time, my hand, I wouldn't be able to put the wrist down, the top of my wrist down. So over time, I've just been able to get it down just from stretching it. Super important. So then let's shake that one out. Do the other hand. Notice which one is a little bit tighter. For me, for sure, the right one is. I'm right-handed. It's our mouse hand, right? What we use most of the time. And then we always favor that side. So think about what you can do to bring a little bit of balance. I don't know about trying your mouse in the left hand, might be a little awkward though. So keep pressing the top of the right hand down. And then let's shake that one out. And then last thing, so we can open up through the shoulders here, I want you to pull the right arm across the body, just hug the right shoulder with the left hand, and then reach the fingertips towards that opposite wall. So you can still be sitting on your heels, you can come down onto the booty if the shins or the knees are starting to talk to you. I want you to grow really tall, and then you can maybe even look opposite of that hand to get a little stretch in the neck. Take a full cycle of breath here. And then this right arm now is going to go behind the back. Bend at the elbow, press the hand down the back. Maybe you keep the hand there or you reach it behind you and grab fingertips. So your choice. I want you to push the back of the head into that right forearm. Elbows pointing somewhere towards the ceiling, and then find softness somewhere. We'll release that, shake it out. Left arm comes across the body. Hug the shoulder with that right hand. Reach the left fingertips as far over as possible. Grow tall through the spine, and then maybe look opposite of the left hand. Get a little stretch on the opposite side of the neck. Make sure you're still breathing and smiling. And then let's bring the left arm behind the back. Use the right hand to help it down the back. And then you can keep the right hand where it is, or maybe you bring the right hand up the back and interlace the fingertips. So one side's going to be a little bit harder than the other. Push the back of the head into the forearm. Grow tall through the center of the chest. Keep growing tall. Take a full cycle of breath here. Then we'll release, shake that out. Come now onto your booty. Have a cross-legged position. Let's just get a little twist into the spine. So inhale to sweep the arms up. When you exhale, let's twist over towards that right thigh. Right hand comes behind you to lift you up through the spine. And if you end up sitting back too far, you can always use a block behind you, and that's just going to help. I'll turn here so you can see. I usually will just put a block behind me if I need a little bit of extra height, and then that usually helps with the twist. So you can use a block or not. You can always have the fingertips on the floor. Keep lifting up through the center of the chest. Bring that gaze over the right shoulder. We'll inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale, now twist to the opposite side. Right hand is going to come on top of the left thigh. Left hand comes behind you. Lift up through the sternum, and then exhale to gaze over that back shoulder. Full deep breath. And then let's come all the way back to center. Can rock the sit bones from side to side. Close the eyes and have either the palms face down on the knees or face up. If you want a little bit of inspiration for your day, have the palms face up. If you need a little bit of grounding, palms face down. Wherever you choose, let's go ahead and lift through the sternum and close the eyes. And keep the lips sealed. Just take 3 of your own breaths here. Keep the eyes closed. Bring the hands together in front of the heart now. Press the palms together, not as tightly as we did earlier, but feel a little bit of firmness there. Tuck the chin towards the chest. Let's take our 3 cleansing breaths to end our practice. Deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. And again, inhale. Open mouth exhale. And a final time, bigger inhale. And an open mouth exhale to sigh it out. You'll seal the lips, lift the chin, and blink the eyes open. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. I hope you have a really wonderful day. And then think about a way that you can be kind today. What's one conscious, active way that you can show kindness outwardly to someone else? So even if you get frustrated or annoyed, how can you turn that into kindness? So I hope that you take all of the positivity that you've created on the mat, you take it into the rest of your day. I hope to see you back on the mat next week at 8 o'clock next Tuesday. See you later. Have a great weekend.